What's good, y'all? This is Let's Get It with Coach Los. I'm your host, Coach Los AC, certified life and relationship coach that helps people fix or find the relationships they want. And this podcast covers the best relationship advice, tools, and action steps to get the results you want in your personal, professional, and of course, love life. So I hope you get a lot of value from the episode. And if you do, as always, remember to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I drop new episodes. Let's get it. All right, so you're dating someone, but deep down, you don't know if they're it, right? Some days feel great. Other days, something feels off. You can't necessarily pinpoint it. And you start saying things to yourself like, maybe it's just me. They've done nothing wrong type of things. This is obviously very important for you to figure out because, you don't want to prematurely walk away from the right person for you, right? Because something felt off that was going on with inside of you. But then you also don't want to spend too much time wasted with the wrong person, right? To where you start wasting your time and even theirs. So let's break down how to know if you're actually with the right person or if you're with someone out of convenience. So first, let's talk about why it's so hard to recognize and tell the difference sometimes. And the first offender is we so often confuse familiarity with alignment, right? Because by nature, we're built for comfort. Because in nature, if I feel comfortable, it's more likely that I am safe and secure and I won't be harmed, right? Because I feel at ease in this comfort zone. So oftentimes when you've grown some and you're evolving to a new version of yourself, but you haven't changed some of your patterns, then something you've left in your past with old relationships that you don't want anymore still may feel right to you on a subconscious nervous system level because it's familiar to you. So you could be dealing with someone in the real time now today, and it can feel like you're supposed to be there with this person because it's familiar. It's what you've known. It's what you've always used to in relationships. But it's not aligning with your spirit and what's actually right for you going forward. The next offender is when we don't want to hurt someone who's been good to us, right? Because it feels like you're being a jerk when you do that. If you get to a place where you start realizing, oh, this person's not making the most sense to me, even if it's not a conscious thought, if it's subconscious, you wind up trying to convince yourself to make sense of staying, even though it's not resonating with you like that this is your person for the long haul. And it flat out starts feeling kind of jerkish to walk away from someone who's been so good to us, right? They might not be right for us, but they were good to us. We try to find a more, overt reason or some sort of an issue before we'll feel comfortable walking away. But you wind up self-sabotaging anyways because secretly your spirit doesn't want to be there because it doesn't align with you. Or the grand old, we're afraid of starting over or being alone again and all those things, to where literally your fear starts making the decision for you to stay in the equation. And the more you give into that fear, the harder it makes for you to gain clarity and make a concise decision on whether this person actually is fit for you best or just your kind of comfort zone that allows you to not have to face a reality of being by yourself. Or the worst piece, you've ignored your intuition for so long, you can't hear what it's saying anymore. You've been so disconnected from yourself, right? Physically, your vessel, your energy, what's going on inside of you. You haven't put enough intentionality into understanding that or listening to that you're all up in your head to where whenever your intuition's firing off and telling you something's not right or trying to help you with some clarity, you're not listening to it. Sometimes the worst heartbreak isn't from someone being toxic in your life. Sometimes it's from all the time you've wasted being unsure about that person. Let's talk the 5 signs that let you know you're with the right person. And the first one is you're clear about them. You're not just comfortable. You're not, questioning the relationship every other week. Your mind is quiet and your heart is steady. Second, conflict doesn't break you. It builds you guys. Disagreements lead to growth, not resentment and withdrawal. Third, you feel more like yourself, not less, right? And your voice is respected, not edited. You can be who you are authentically and truly. Fourth, you see shared vision together, not just shared time, right? The narrative about your relationship shifts from being, oh, we've just been together a long time to this is where we're going together, right? It has more future vision in it versus, yeah, we've been together, I know, this amount of years and, things are okay and all that. No, it's more inspiring. It's, yes, we've been together this long and here's where we're going next. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're building towards. Here's what we're working on. Something that you feel vibrant and optimistic about, something you're excited for. Point is, this person feels right to you on a spiritual level, in a nervous system level, in a subconscious level, not just a conscious level, to the point that you naturally start to see a future with them that you're excited about and you're anticipating, versus you living moment to moment, not knowing what comes next and really not even being inspired to care necessarily. But you're comfortable because it's healthy and it's, not toxic and you guys get along and all the things and you're loved and you're not alone, right? But if someone were to ask you, well, what's next for you guys as a couple, you can't really answer it, right? That's a big difference. And fifth, you feel truly chosen by your partner, not tolerated, right? There's consistency. There's actual pursuit of you. There's presence. They're there with you. They're dialed in, right? Focused on you like you're focused on them. Not confusion or settling type energy to where you feel like they're kind of just, managing with you or just keeping you around because you're convenient right now, what have you, right? And you shouldn't feel the same about them either, right? You shouldn't feel like they're convenient to you. With that said, let's talk about the 5 signs that shows you're holding on for convenience, right? Versus alignment. And the first one is you keep asking yourself the question, are they right for you? Or you're asking close friends or family members that question all the time at different moments. Do you think they're really right for me? Do you think this is the one for me? What are your thoughts, right? Or you're internally having that battle all the time. And there's a reason why this question lingers. And your body knows the truth. Second is you start confusing peace with passivity. And it's not peace at all. You're just emotionally numb now. See, it's one thing to not have any issues and feel at harmony and at ease, but even that has a pleasant feeling to it, has positive vibrations to it versus no feeling at all. It's a big difference that can really be missed by some folks because they feel like if I'm not in pain, active pain or misery or what have you, or I'm not suffering, then, this is not that bad. There's nothing wrong, right? But you're supposed to be, jolted and charged and excited and exhilarated in your relationship. Even from a calm and harmonious space, it should still feel an uplifting energy that brings some vibrance to your spirit, even in a regular way, just every given day, versus you feeling nothing, feeling indifferent about it all, feeling checked out, disconnected to where you don't feel anything that feels positive in vibration. And that brings me to the third sign. You're staying because it's not that bad, right? But you have to understand the absence of toxicity is not the presence of alignment, right? And just because you don't have the worst things happening and going on around you, and it's much worse than other people's relationships, doesn't make yours the right relationship for you, right? It just means you are with another decent human being like you are, to where you both don't bring toxicity to each other. But if it's not filling your hearts up, filling your glass up, it's almost the same end result at the end of the day. You living a lackluster life that doesn't have the vibrance you deserve to have and that we all deserve to have. That life that should be a 10 before you meet your partner that goes to 100 when they're in your life. Or fourth, you fantasize more about what you hope they'll be, to the point that you don't realize you're investing more emotionally into their potential, not their reality of who they are today. I know that stings for somebody, because there's so many people out there, so many of you that are sticking around with that person that just doesn't make sense and hasn't made sense totality wise since day one. Not saying because you didn't have 100% of all the things you wanted, right? You had, maybe a decent bit, not even the 80 though, right? You didn't have the 80%. And it's not an 80-20 rule thing to where there was 20% missing or you didn't have the 100% or whatever. and you were left with the 80 and you still just want it all. No, they weren't meeting some of that 80% that you needed, the floorboard foundational requirements. And you keep sticking around because you can see it in them. You can see what's possible. Listen, I've always and will forever coach my clients away from ever dating potential. So like I say to them directly, I'm going to say to you, you don't date potential, because potential is useless without cultivation, without it being cultivated inside someone to be brought out. And they have to genuinely want to do that for themselves. You can try to inspire all you want, but they have to also embrace that narrative and that belief system and start to cultivate it for themselves. Or else it will stay potential forever, because at the end of the day, we all have potential. It's a matter of your journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, and self-awareness to build that thing and bring it out of you, to cultivate your gifts. And then there's fifth, you're afraid to let go because you don't want to start over. But you have to embrace that the fear of being alone is not the same as love, right? If anything, it's the opposite. Love doesn't exist in negative vibration, negative frequency. And that's exactly where fear exists and lives. It literally plays on things that makes you feel bad, feel concerned, brings you anxiety, all the things, negative vibrations, negative stimulants, nothing positive in fear. So it can't be loved by default. But then on the other side of the tracks, it goes, hey, you can't truly be loving me if a huge reason as to why you're here with me is out of the fear of being by yourself. That's about you, not about loving me, because to love me would mean you have to love all of me, meaning you have to love all of your partner in order for it to truly be love. And you're there because you love them, the person, not you loving what they're doing for you, in a sense of they give you a way to not be by yourself. That's about you, not about loving them. Big difference. With that said, if you're only staying because you're afraid to leave, then that's definitely your answer, right? No more questioning it. They are convenient for you. They're not right for you. You're not wrong for wanting clarity. You never are. You should always be trying to seek clarity. But it's really unfair to keep someone close to you, keep a partner in your life that is continuing to invest their time in their life that they can't get back, if deep down you're unsure. But on the flip side, it's also not wise to walk away from someone or a situation that's solid just because your inner world is a little chaotic. Now, yeah, you can't build a healthy relationship if your inner world is chaotic, so you need to work on that. But on either side of the tracks, communication is key. You need to start opening up and being honest and transparent with your partner. Even if you come to recognize they are the convenient person for you and you don't love them to pieces the way that you thought coming in or wished you had or would, then love on them enough as a human being, this is a person, to offer them that truth so they can make a sound decision for themselves to move forward with or without you. Give them a chance. Do that for your own sense of identity, your morality, your principles. Who are you as a person? This is a great opportunity to champion for who you are or who you believe yourself to be deep down, right? Maybe difficult to do, but it's a necessary thing. And if you think there could be something there and they really could be your person, but things are feeling off a little bit, talk through that as well. Let them know what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, where the miss is, and what you would like to get to, how you would like to figure it out. And look, you might surprise yourself sometimes when you're willing to do that and be vulnerable and not be afraid of how they'll respond and everything else. And by the way, if they'll respond horribly or you think that's the case, then maybe they're not the right person for you at all if they're not in a healed enough space to be able to talk through difficult conversations. But go to them if you think maybe I don't know if you're the right person for me. Maybe you are just familiar and convenient and all the things. But would you like for them to be the right person? And if so, what would be required from them on your end in order for them to be that person, if they want to be that person? And do they align with what they would need to grow in or adjust in or what have you to become that version of themselves to be a fit for you, to where they're not changing for you, they're changing for something they believe in that happens to fit for you as well. But see, if you're not willing to have the conversation, then now you strip yourself of the ability to actually find out if this person that didn't begin as the one that's right for you could have turned into it truly once you were honest enough with yourself to be honest enough with them. If you need help navigating your inner world to get clear on whether this is the right person for you, but there's some things that need to be worked through, or if they're just a convenient person for you and you need to walk away to make space for the person that is right for you, and you need help getting yourself in a shape to be that person to find what you actually need and want, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work, only if you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time, space, maybe even the resources, then at least email or DM me the word transformation, and I'll get you the link to one of my transformation courses that'll help you learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace, on your own time. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.